Hello, y'all. How's it going? Today, let me just fix that. Don't ignore that. Today, the day today is Saturday. It's Saturday morning, and I wanted to do some randomizer stuff. And I thought about which randomizer to do, and I landed on Metroid Fusion randomly. And then I found out, like, right after I made that decision, sometime after, honestly, like a few days after that, oh crap, there's a new version of the Metroid Fusion Open Randomizer, so this actually works perfectly. It's serendipitous, in fact, that as we are sitting down to play Metroid Fusion Randomizer, there's a brand new version. What does this new version add? Not that much. It adds randomized color palettes, which will look cool, and that'll be interesting. And it adds portals. The portals between the sectors, those can be randomized. I've randomized those. And otherwise, it's pretty much the same, other than, like, logic fixes, bug fixes, that sort of thing. That's not necessarily anything that anyone, really jumps out of bed to greet. You know what I mean, right? Like, yeah, that's gonna be really cool, and it's gonna be really good as far as, like, yeah, we don't want to get soft locked behind a item check that we can't actually get, but at the same time, it's more of a bug fix than a feature. But still, those two features I reckon will be cool. Probably, I'll say, like, from my experience, remembering where the portals go is a hard part of the randomizer already, so randomizing those up might be a little too much for me on a regular basis, but I will definitely use randomized color palettes, assuming they look good some of the time, and I think that's nice. Hey, just, it's good to know that this randomizer is under active development, and probably has more changes in store as the years carry on. There's other randomizers that I like I like the Minish Cap randomizer, where that I think is just not being actively developed and is what it is, which is a shame because I really like it, and I think it could be a little better if it had like 10 or 12 little improvements, or perhaps a continuous slate of improvements over time. What came one after the other, you know what I mean? One quick thing before we begin. Little further follow-up on where's the thing. What the hell? There's something wrong with my cards here. Well, do I not have the cards, the cue cards in this? What the hell? What the hell are they? That's odd. I don't know why that's not visible. Oh. Here they are. They're just screwed up on this scene. Little further follow-up on the audio setup situation. I mentioned last stream that I was noodling around with how audio works. Possibly some new features from Windows 11. I'm not sure how exactly they all work, but I found out that you could direct programs to use certain audio outs, and that made things simpler for PC games to output to a certain unused output, like the ones for my monitors, which I don't use and would never use, and capture that in OBS to make it all nice and seamless when I go to stream, so that I can, capture it, y'all will hear it, and I will hear what y'all hear, and I don't have to worry about, like, oh, did OBS's application capture fail or some shit like that. I don't have to worry about that crap if I'm using that improvement. I was doing other things as well while I was in there. Like, I saw, like, oh, you can disable audio sources, and two of the audio sources I disabled were on the microphones. I disabled the audio outs on the microphones because I'm never gonna plug a headset into my microphones. It turns out that breaks the software of the Blue Yetis. And I think what happened yesterday was that because the software was broken, there was no equalization, and also the levels were all fucked up because the software wasn't running. And that explains why it was all screwy. I fixed that. I tested that on my own end. I think the mics sound proper now. I think this sounds like more in line with what the stream usually sounds like. Sorry about the quality of the audio yesterday. Damn shame. I hope to be better about that going forward, I guess. I know it's ironic to start a stream by saying like, hey, I figured out a way to do audio better, and that for that stream to have crap audio, but that kind of goes with the territory of making changes and also setting up a brand new stream layout in a new apartment, I suppose. Those two things are a recipe for disaster. And I just hope that the audio sounds good tonight. Today, it's the morning. I hope the audio sounds good today, and I hope it sounds good on Tuesday when we go into Mario Odyssey 100% and start down that whole road, 900 something moons, all that. Ooh, that's gonna be a whole thing. Can't wait. Love Mario Odyssey. It'll be Monday. Alright. Anyway, should sound good from here on out. Let's go ahead and let's start the randomizer. I gotta turn on my Xbox controller for this Game Boy game. I gotta replace the batteries of this Xbox controller for this Game Boy game. Crap, where's a... 1 second, I'm gonna throw to a quick break and be back in like 12 seconds. Okay, I got batteries now, okay. I tell myself that I'm going to start changing the batteries before the stream sometimes, and then I never do that. I never do that. It would be silly to change them every stream. Usually it's fine. Get that back to 0. Anyway, once this controller turns on and stays on, we can go ahead and get the thing going. What the fuck? It's shit. Further 1 second, let me find batteries that work. I'm just gonna throw to a break until I get working batteries. Or switch controllers. Okay, I got it working. The key was to shut down the Game Boy Advance on my computer and then connect the controller. Computers are weird. This happened to me on my old computer. I don't know why it's happening to me on my new computer. If there's a reason that happens and it can be fixed, please tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because if it happens on multiple computers, then it's not the computer, so... Is it my... Do I need a new Xbox connector? It wouldn't be the... Whatever. Think about that later. Let's, without any further ado, let's go ahead and, get this, randomizer, going. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay. Randomizer, let's go. Oh, let me fuck. There. Starting now. You know, we'll start the timer when I hit yes on is my objective clear. That's fine. Whatever. I don't know what the standard is for, like, timing this randomizer, but it's all in fun, so whatever. We got a Black ship. We got weirdly Hello Samus. Cool. Kinda look oddly glowing. Let's go. So, basically we need to get a bunch of items and release level 4 locks, and then we can finish. Basically is how this randomizer works. Little weird, I think, honestly, but that just goes along with how you finish the actual original game. So, it is what it is. We're gonna make sure to save whenever possible. We don't want to lose any progress by taking a dumbass death. That would be bad. We need to also make sure not to save if we're somewhere where we cannot get back. That is an important thing in this randomizer and perhaps most Metroid randomizers. Just a thing to keep in mind. Minor thing though. I think we'll be fine. I'll say I played this randomizer, the previous version of it, quite a few times. In my experience, it'll take a few hours. Hour, 2, 3, somewhere in that range. We'll be able to get through relatively easily. Okay, hey, we got the missile. Perfect. Go ahead and set that properly. With the missile, we can go fight this first boss. And see what that gets us. The one thing, color palette-wise, that they don't randomize is the pickups, the X parasites, because it would maybe be confusing if they were different colors as from normal. So those are all out-of-the-box vanilla style. Don't have to worry about your green pickups being... your green missiles being something other than green. Ooh. Item. Morph ball. Sick. I suppose it's worth noting that the morph ball has to be in the first area because you cannot get to the next area without a morph ball. But it's still nice to have. I have, by the way, on my end, a slightly customized tracker that has, like, maps on it so I can look and see where I need to go and all the checks I need to do. It's been a while since the last time I did this randomizer, or Fusion in general, so... well, I guess the last time I did Fusion was this randomizer, so... that's the main way I've come to play Fusion. Not like I replay Fusion multiple times a year, or nothing. But it's been a while since the last time I did this randomizer, so... one more. Boss fight coming up. This will be the first, like, loud music. Oh, hey, there's another item there. Suit. No, speed booster. This will be the first, like, loud music of the thing, so... this will be a great opportunity to calibrate the audio. Their energy tank, fantastic. I would love to get more energy tanks so I don't have to worry as much about bosses and the like. A good amount of energy tanks, we can just chill and remember to jump and stuff. How's the audio right now? One second, let me do a quick audio test. Audio sound good? Maybe the game audio could be a little lower. During, like, the ambient sections, it's not... you don't need all that much, fucking up that jump, but I got energy tanks. One second, I can bop, bop, bop. Yay. Let's go with that roundabout. That's fine. All right. I'll say, as far as randomizers go, I played quite a few of them. Maybe I'm honestly, I could go with like a new one right now. I feel like it is time to start trying out some that I've not before. But I've done a lot of the major ones. I've done Ocarina, I've done Majora's Mask. Haven't really done those that much. My favorites randomizers would be Paper Mario, DK64. My absolute favorite is Paper Mario. But DK64 is also up there. This one is up there. And I also like Minish Cap. Those would probably be my 4. I did a stream once where I played all 4 of them at once, switching between them randomly for Extra Life back in like 2022. So that was fun. And, I guess because of that stream, I kind of think of those 4 as like the main ones that I do. But at the same time, it's not like I'm, on a monthly basis playing a randomizer. And in some cases, it's been like, in some cases, it's been a while. And the last time I did DK64 is I don't remember when. The last time I did Minish Cap was also a while ago. The last time I did this one. Paper Mario is the only one I do, like, I will just pull up randomly, even off stream, and just go through for fun. It's, ooh, hey, we get this power up before we go in. Fantastic. This pickup, this check. I really enjoy Randomizer, and I'll say, of, like, the randomizers, what I could play in the future. Let's just go 1, I guess. Of the randomizers I could play in the future, I think my, the ones that I have my eye on, right, would be, interested in, Metroid Dread. Now that I got a new PC, I think I could run Metroid Dread randomizer relatively okay. I saw that there was like a Link's Awakening Switch randomizer that looked pretty good. I saw like a speedrunner Linkus play some of that. I saw the VOD, the video, not the VOD, but like the highlight reel video that he did of that thing. We can just charge right past. That's nice. I saw that, and that looked pretty appealing, and perhaps even more appealing than the original game itself. I think that might be the best way to play Link's Awakening. That's one I have my eye on. And again, because I have a new PC, for the last 4 months, I could do that without worrying about performance, I reckon, maybe. Would be nice. That is a big benefit of having a nice PC, is that we can just do whatever we please without really worrying about what will run and what won't. Don't need to go in there. That's nothing. Nothing's going over there. I can just do a quick save for safety. We're probably in good shape right now, though. We got 5 energy tanks. Oh, well, there's a hidden thing here. Yeah, I can grab that. I don't have bombs, but I can... Ooh, it's something. I think in this game, all the question marks are good. Bomb data. Speaking of bombs. All the question marks. It's one question mark. All the pickups, we see one. It's gonna be a good one. Unless it's redundant in some way, like if we get Ice Beam before we get Ice Missile. In which case, we're already fixed good, ice-wise. But still, or if we get like Ice Missiles after we get the Diffusion Beam, for instance. Another example of that. I will say one bummer about this, which is that if you don't randomize the zones, the sectors, the opening will probably play out much in the same way every time. Insofar as, like, yeah, you need to go to Sector 1 probably first, because that's going to have, like, the most things you need to check. That's going to have the most things that you can check right away without that many items. Plasma Beam. Sick. It's going to have the most checks you can do without specific items. And also, if you're, you know, on the low end of energy tanks, it's going to, you know, this zone is going to be perhaps the most easygoing zone you can, hang out in. I have no way to kill those guys. This is usually water. It's purple, so it looks like it should be bad, but it's water, not lava. The color schemes, they're threw me for a little bit of a loop there. We need some green. There's a green. Damn a yellow. There's green. Got some more green. Wonderful. Now that we have the plasma beam, our shots will pierce bullshit, which is nice. Can't go there yet. Some bullshit, I guess. I don't know about all bullshit, but some bullshit definitely will be pierced. Plasma beam. That one of the things we need? Yeah, plasma beam is one of the things we need. Cool. So, on paper, we are one step closer to finishing. It is worth noting that the main, at least previously, in previous iterations of the randomizer, the main bottleneck for finishing is probably going to be level 4 locks. Getting to level 4 locks requires, like, most of the other locks to have been unlocked, and also, you have to usually take a very circuitous route to get there. That said, with sector warps being randomized now, maybe that won't be the case, because maybe the warp that goes to sector 3, maybe the portal that goes to the underwater part of sector 3 is going to be in a more convenient area, in which case we might not need... Did I get the... let's look at that. Oh, no, that's... Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Got what we needed earlier. Maybe we'll be able to go to Sector 3 earlier, and it won't be the last thing, necessarily. But that would surprise me. I don't know. My instinct is always that, like, look, you need screw attack, you need to get through most of the portals, and a lot of them are inconveniently placed on top of that, so let's not get our hopes up. We don't have wave beam, so we can't shoot through ground, but maybe we can see what that item is in the next room and see if it's a good one or not. Let's see. I can't see it, no. With this, you need the gravity suit, right? You need the gravity suit in order to shine spark up. We got no way of seeing what it is we're missing. If we could shoot through walls, we could at least see if it was a item that we want or one that we don't give a shit about. Well, we'll make note of that, I guess. We might come back. But I'm hoping it's not a good item and we don't have to worry about it. It might not be a good item and we might not have to worry about it. We'll see. You know, odds are that's nothing. And we can just move on with our day. Energy tank. Because we have the speed boost, we can get the item up above this room. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of while we're in the neighborhood. We've got a ton of energy tanks, and that feels pretty good. Okay, try number 2. This is a little tricky, you know. Eh. I needed to open the door first. Third tries the charm. There we go. It's just here on the very... Ooh, it's good, it's good. Space jump! Oh, wow, yeah, that's fucking good. I guess that's one of the items that renders another item obsolete. The high jump is now, not the most valuable item in the world. Doesn't the high jump also make it so that you can ball jump, though? It's not worthless, it's something. Yeah, we are having some great early game luck. I mean, goddamn. Like, we just went to one zone and got diffusion. That's, diffusion. Where the fuck is that? Here it is. Not that you would necessarily know that the green missile is diffusion. I don't know where they get the icons from for the tracker. Where those all come from. There's... In the original game, or do they have, like, icons when you pick them up? Okay, now we can see... Okay, missile. Good. Fuck that. We're out of here. Beautiful. You are in great fucking shape, y'all. This randomizer can go by really fast, I'll say. Like, it is not outside the realm of possibility to be, like, done with it in an hour or two. That's why I felt like it was perfect for a Saturday morning stream. You know what I mean? Like, a quick little thing where I get in, I do a seed. You know, we get everything we need, we get out, we get in, we get out, and before long we're back, we're done, and then I'll go about the rest of my day. Doing stuff. I like to do stuff on Saturday, typically. But usually in the afternoon specifically, so... You know, I don't have to worry about any of that until like 3 p.m. So really, I could do a Saturday stream from 11 to like 3 without too much affecting my plans, but like a 2-hour stream on a Saturday morning, that's fine. I don't mind that. It was good that we went here first. I think that has proven to be correct. That said, there maybe is also an argument for going to the second zone first, insofar as the second zone has the blue doorways that you can open up, which would allow us to get places we can't currently get. Even in this first area, there's the one... Well, actually, in the first area, there's... The blue door can't really get you anywhere useful. But still, we could access other zones if we had the blue doors open. And we could start making decisions based around, like, oh yeah, we got the Shine Spark. We got this, we got that. We can now go to Sector 3 or 4 or whatever. I'll say I did a little bit of a test before doing the stream, wherein you might notice, like, if you're watching on the YouTube, or if you've seen the YouTube thumbnail, I took a screenshot from another seed I I did real quickly. I didn't do it, but I played like 5 minutes of it just to see, like, okay, this is what color schemes look like. This is, okay, it's all working, it's good. Test the audio, all that. I say test the audio, you know, I still had to adjust it, but you know what I mean. Just make sure it was capturing and all that. Let me get the map up on my end so I can see where the fuck I'm going. What I need to check here. So this goes to the... I think we want to go to unlock the doors first. And then we can screw around with that whole path back there. We have everything we need to go back there, too. Anyway, I'll say that the color schemes I'm seeing right now aren't quite as outlandish as what I saw during that initial test. Like, there were rooms that were entirely pink in that, which is what the thumbnail was for the YouTube live stream. I'll say the YouTube VOD will be a completely different one on account of, well, it has to be from this seed. It'd be silly to put a thumbnail based on another seed that I'm not playing as the thumbnail, but you know. Could be a little more out there. It does look weird when you get health. The color palette sort of looks all off, I suppose. With this, is it like a missile thing? I forget. Well, I guess I can use diffusion to check efficiently. Nope, bombs. We're at 20. We've gotten more health tanks than missiles, which is unusual. That's unusual, right? Like, how many we got? Oh no, I just haven't been counting those. Oh no, I got 2. Okay, those are the 2 missile tanks of 46. I don't have 46 missiles. But yeah, I've gotten like 6 energy tanks, 2 missiles. That's, ain't that something? I know, it's not that interesting. It's just slightly unlikely, isn't it? Do I want to go down here right just now? Well, I could at the very least get this missile tank. I think let's go the other way. Go, left. I think what I want to do is I want to go left around, like, the loop. Get the data download thing. Data station. What the fuck are those called? Data rooms? Get the data room, get this collectible. And do that before we make our way around to... Ooh, power bomb tank. Does that give us power bombs? No, that's just capacity. Okay. We need the power bombs before we can use those. Not that exciting. Unless the data room has power bombs. Just another tank, okay. It has power bombs, but not really. These guys are roughing me up. This isn't like a thing where more advanced enemies show up in the middle of the game and the randomizer just starts with them. Is it? It might be, I don't know. It's been a while since I played Fusion Vanilla style. I say it was a while, it can't have been that long ago. Whenever it came out on Game Boy Advance Online, I did a full playthrough dealie. This is a save room. It just seems safe. It's not like we're in a place we can't get back from. We have bombs, we have everything we need to get back. It's important to remember that if I'm saving, I need to make sure I'm not in a point of no return accidentally. Otherwise, we just have to carry on and, you know, not save. Another power bomb tank. I could really go for Metroid Dread Randomizer. It's been... I played through the hard mode of Metroid Dread like a few years ago. And that was fun. And I do think that game is perhaps one of the best games of its year. And honestly, I look back, that is the sort of game I look back upon and go like, man, maybe that should have been my game of the year. But I instead had to give it to Deltarune Chapter 2. Maybe, actually, the full-length Metroidvania that was top of its class was the best one. And just because I don't like the what's the word, action commands? Just because I didn't like the action commands, the quick time events. You know, that's not a reason not for it to be Game of the Year. Then again, Psychonauts 2 was also really good that year. Was that the year of Three Houses as well? That sounds right, but I'm not sure. There were a lot of good games. There's been a lot of good games in general, but also that year. Especially if all the games I just said came out in that year. And I'm not conflating any. They're like a secret... Yeah. Secret underground right here. Perfect. Get 30. Wonderful. Other randomizers I would like to play. Well, I honestly, I have been thinking about maybe giving, like, Ocarina another go. Ocarina, I played it like co-op style, which means that I didn't do like most of the dungeons myself. You know, another person handled those, which did make it like more completable in a single session than maybe it would have been otherwise. You know, I don't know, like, at a certain point, a randomizer becomes a full playthrough of a game if you're not like, if you're not lucky, right? And how fast can I do Ocarina by myself? Probably, like, not within the course of a single stream. No, that may be awkward. I'd done Majora's Mask before. I had, like, a really awkward seed where I had to basically almost 100% it to finish, which was, rough. I think it probably would be cool to give that another go. Maybe I would get better luck this time, or maybe I would have more experience and do it better. Depending on whether it was luck or inexperience that made it last 10 hours, 12 hours. What I do have my eyes on as far as Zelda goes is, I think, get up there. I think that, not Majora's Mask, well, I'll say that Majora's Mask does have, like, a, multiple randomizers. There's, like, a Majora's Mask that's, I think we could get up there with freeze missiles. Oh. We can also just use these things I forgot about. Wind Waker. I would love to do Wind Waker randomizer. Honestly, like, I think that'd be fun. I love Wind Waker. And I'll say in particular, I would do some sort of... I would definitely... What's the deal there? We don't have power bombs, so we can't... I'm thinking we can't get that. If I'm wrong... Whatever. Moving on. I don't see a way to get that. If I did Wind Waker, I would definitely do some sort of custom setup. I say custom setup, maybe it already exists, but... I feel like what I would want all the items to be would be in major islands. The problem with Wind Waker, as far as a randomizer goes, as far as my... is that a lot of it are just random outlying islands that no one's ever heard of and no one's ever been to. And I'm not really interested in going to, like, Bumfuck Island. And, you know, doing a check there that I've never in my life done, like, casually. I want it to be like just, yeah, major islands only, dungeons, that sort of thing. I think that would be pretty cool. I bet you they have those options. Most randomizers have a lot of configuration that you can do, with rare exceptions. One of the rare exceptions is, admittedly, this randomizer right here. You pretty much can't configure it to be any way but vanilla. Or any way but, yeah, you have to do everything normal style. Hey, Humade. How you doing? You have to do everything normal style and get all the items and open all the doors. If I had one suggestion for this randomizer, it would be like, do something about the doors. You haven't played any Metroid games before, Humade? They're good. I love them. Well, there's a lot that I love. I don't necessarily mean as a blanket thing. Do you recommend me to try Metroid? Yes. If I were to recommend one Metroid, I would say Zero Mission. I think Zero Mission is the best traditional 2D one that is of a regular persuasion. I guess if you're just looking for games that you can play on the Switch, you can play Fusion on the Switch. It is a little linear. You can play Super Metroid on the Switch. Super Metroid is like the opposite. It can be a little hard to get the mind around. It can be a little hard to navigate at times if you're, like, new to it. Hell, even I find... I've only played Super Metroid a few times, and I still feel like I get lost when I do. One of the reasons why I prefer this game and Zero Mission is because Zero Mission will literally give you an objective indicator and be like, okay, asshole, you need to go right here. You need to go to this place. And then you can go like, okay, I will go to the dot and find my way. And I still need to, like, do some traversal, do some navigation to get there, some puzzle solving. But I do know at least where the fuck I'm going. Vaguely. Most of the time. A lot of the time. Which I think is a really good middle ground. I'll say that Dread is fantastic as well. Dread is definitely a killer game. I feel like, for my money, I would still recommend the Game Boy Advance ones to start with, but Dread is definitely like the best the series has been since the Game Boy Advance. I'll say I also love the Prime games, especially. I think my favorite would be 2, honestly, which is an unpopular opinion, I know. I think you should go with Dread to start with. I think that the 2D games would be easier to get the mind around and to navigate through. I guess I started with Prime myself, like the first one, but also I never was able to finish Prime because... Did I ever finish Prime? I forget. I feel like at some point I went back and actually finished it off, but I always found the Mecha Ridley fight to be really hard. I feel like I did Prime Randomizer at some point, and went up against Ridley, and found like, oh, I was able to do it this time. Oh, hell. Hell yeah, but that might be my imagination. I forget if I ever did that. There's some difficulty spikes in Prime and Prime 2, I will say. Prime 2 has a especially egregious one in the Morph Ball Guardian fight. I almost would recommend Prime 3. Prime 3 is, like, pretty balanced. It's probably, like, the most nuanced as far as it has the most quality of life features. And also, it is a little bit more linear than even 2, which was a little bit more linear than 1. Insofar as, like, there's parts where it's literally, like, telling you exactly where you need to go. Parts that are more on rails. Let's see now. Where can we go now? With what we got now, there is a boss fight in the area, but I'm not sure if we can realistically beat. I'm not actually sure we can realistically go there. I'm not sure if we can realistically beat with just 45 missiles and no charge beam. You can't try the Metroid games because your subscription is just for Game Boy and NES. SNES is also included on the default level, so you can, for what it's worth, try Super Metroid, which is one people recommend. I personally prefer the Game Boy Advance ones, but on some level, it's probably because I started with those and not Super Metroid, so if you started with Super, you might find to be just as good as everyone says. I'm pretty sure the basic package includes SNES games you made. I'm pretty sure SNES is included. It's N64 that's not included, if I recall correctly. Okay, there's a boss over there, but I'm not really loving our odds of beating him. Are there GameCube games? There's not yet, no. I reckon that'll be coming with the new Switch. I reckon when the new Switch comes out, that'll be, like, not too far down the line. Unless they reset everything and go back to starting with, releasing N64 games one at a time again. Or start back with the SNES, which I can't imagine that they will. No, that's not right. It's, this one. Ice Missile, right? Yes. This is, by the way, a randomizer, if you don't know what a randomizer is. Everything is in random locations, so I have to hunt around for all my items and figure out where I can go next and what the next steps are. I think I want to leave that boss. With that boss, there's no way of getting extra missiles after I spend them, and typically, traditionally, that wouldn't be a problem because you'd have Charge Beam to fall back on, but we don't have Charge Beam, so we would have to be extremely good or extremely... I'm honestly not sure, like, how many missiles it takes to beat him, and he probably just has a missile tank anyway, so let's just move on for now. I think it's time to go to Sector 4 or Sector 3. Sector 3 is the water zone. We have speed boost. We have no gravity suit yet, but we have somersault, which will allow us to get over water at least. What's Sector 4 again? Sector 4 is that tropical? We can't get back through here. We need to find another way, but that's not a problem. Probably a new console that is way different from the Switch. I think, yeah, I don't think they'll repeat the Wii U resets. I think that they're gonna... I think that the Switch 2, the Super Switch, whatever it's gonna be called, it's gonna be like an updated Switch. It's going to be Switch form factor, and it's going to be like backwards compatible. If it's not, I'll be very, very, very surprised. Yeah, it'll be 1080p on the screen. Yes, I agree. Okay. Can I get to the pipe zone? If the warps are all like randomly changed now, so I wonder where this leads. Let's check that out before we go back and say go to Sector 3 or 4. Again, this is a new version of the randomizer, and there are some... Where are we? Yes, we're heading in the right direction. New version of the randomizer. They now randomize a couple things that were not randomized before. There we go. Oh. Can I use diffusion beams to hit those? No. So I would need to beat the boss here. Or come back with wave beam to get through to the warp zone. You don't expect a 4K resolution? Oh, I think it's gonna output the 4K. I don't think it's gonna be a 4K handheld, but I think it's gonna be 4K when connected to the TV. I think the 4K will be in the cards. Does the if you get like a Stream Deck, a Steam Deck, and other sorts of equivalent handhelds, do they do 4K if you connect them to a TV? I'm assuming they all dock like a Switch, right? I think if they have all done it, then Nintendo will I expect Nintendo to follow suit. You still use a 720 TV? Dang. I got a 4K TV. It's nice. I am a little low on energy. Where's the... We have to drop from all the way above. Hang on, let me just, Okay, it's just a missile, I don't have to care about that one. Also, this is just a missile. I don't have to care about that one either. I'm not even going to grab it. Let's just leave. It's important in a randomizer to immediately recognize what things are and say, oh, that's crap. What am I doing? No, leave now. Leave the room. Do not come back. We're fixed good. I need to remember to do that rather than just absent-mindedly, walking. I'd be open to other randomizers as well. There's plenty of games that I love. Plenty of ones that I would love to see a randomizer of. I love Paper Mario. I know that there's I think there is a Thousand Year Door randomizer as well, but I'm pretty sure it's not nearly as fleshed out as Paper Mario randomizer. I wonder. You know, there are randomizers for Link's Awakening Switch and other ports of certain games. I wonder if anyone's out there trying to make a I wonder if anyone will, once Thousand Year Door switches out, make a Thousand Year Door Switch randomizer. That'd be interesting. Hey, I'd play that if that existed and was reasonably robust. I think with the GameCube one, you have to like run a weird script. It's like a weird hacky type thing, and you have to use all sorts of plugins to make it work. Versus just like the a lot of N64 and otherwise randomizers where it creates a whole ROM for you, or you know, whatever. You know, it creates a whole executable for you to run on your thing. Oh yeah, Sector 3 is the fire sector. Sector 4 is the water sector. I was trying to remember which sectors were which earlier on. I do think it's great in this game that they sort of, if I recall, I'm pretty sure, mix up the order in which you go to the sectors, right? Like, you go to 1 first, and then 2, and then it's like, nah, go to Sector 4. Your next objective is at Sector 4, Samus. That's neat. The fact that it's, you know, told to you, like, and you don't really have a choice in the matter is a bit of a shame. You know, you're just told, like, hey, go to 4. All the other doors are locked until you go to 4. That is not as good, but whatever. I understand why they did it. Do I understand why they did it? Yeah, they wanted to be foolproof. I mean, I'll say, like, can I get back from here? I have speed boost. Is speed boost enough to get to the thing to open the way back? I don't know, and I haven't really done anything that's worth saving, so let's just play it safe here and just carry on without a save. I think I might have more than enough, though, at this point. I might have everything that I would do at this point in the game, if I'm thinking about it logically. And if I did do that, if I do have that, then I logically don't have to worry about being stuck at all. It's impossible for me to get stuck if I have everything that I'm supposed to have. That was just a missile over there, right? Through this wall. Oh, it's an energy tank. I'll take an energy tank. Some of the bosses in this game will get hard, so the more energy tanks I have, the happier I will be. I have never... Well, first off, I don't really like speedrun Metroid games or play them that often, so it kind of makes sense that I wouldn't do. But I don't think I've ever tried like a low percent run of any Metroid. You know, I've always picked up collectibles as I see fit. I've never been like, ooh, let's try like a 0% run, or, you know, minimum items playing casually. That'd be an interesting way to do, I'll say. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to trying that, just that it seems like it'd be very hard, and I would die a lot. Can I get out of this water without a high jump? Yes. We still haven't really gotten anything of note, so I'm just gonna skip that save for now. I've heard it said, like, just as a baseline rule in this randomizer, that if you want to just take no chances, just save specifically at the start of zones. You know what I mean? Just like at the entrances of sectors. You can't go wrong just saving there. And, you know, you'll never have to, you'll never have to, like, quit out if you do that. That said, you know, I like to save, and, you know, avoiding death is, reducing risk in a run that I want to do, a seed that I want to complete this morning before I go out and do stuff in the world, is a inherent good. Oh, that's just a shooty thing. Let's see now. Where are we? Up is there's one item up here that I want to get. Oh, you know what? It's not a bombable wall. It's just a visible wall. I'll say usually you don't have to be, you know, if you're just playing the game regular style. All these are just regular power-ups that you can get or not get. And it's not gonna, like, super punish you other than being harder. But here, if we accidentally miss something that turns out to be the way forward, it's all screwed. Alright, water's lowered, so yeah, we can get back. It's not a concern. I could do a save if I wanted to. I don't really terribly need to, though. Super Missile. Super Missile is gonna make some of the boss fights that are in this area, like, a good deal easier, I will say. And any area, like, any zone that is, like, earlier in the game that we haven't gone to. The Super Missile is gonna make those bosses, like, feel trivial. Relatively. We'll take them down in very few shots. Which is really nice that the Super Missile actually does that. It's not like a... You know, I wouldn't be surprised. When you get the Super Missile, right? Bosses are like, know that you have it, so they're kind of calibrated for expecting you to have Super Missiles. But because we are able to fight bosses from before we have Super Missiles, we get some freebies. Some free, easy kills. Okay, this is... Can we do this right now? We can't high jump. And we can't gravity jump, but... Okay, yeah, no, we can't... We can't go over there yet without the ability to, jump high, or gravity jump in water. And there's not headroom enough to, like, gravity jump over. We need to, I just saved, and assuming that saves work perfectly good, a reset here is no big deal. Yep, reset here is no big deal. Perfect. Okay. That boss we need an item to get to that we don't have. Meaning, if I'm not mistaken, we have done basically everything we can do here. Not quite. Not quite. We can go to the area that's beyond the... We have the diffusion beam. The diffusion... Not the diffusion beam. We have the diffusion missiles. Which means that we can go... We can finally, for once, diverge from the original game's critical path. And we will do just that. For probably like a minute, because I'm not sure that we can do... Hang on, hang on. Hey, maybe this is Gravity Suit. Power Bomb! Oh, that's pretty good. Power Bomb is a damn good pickup. Definitely gonna get a good amount of use out of this. I need to get a speed boost going. We haven't gotten any of the suits yet. I'm pretty sure those are progressive, like you get the gravity, you get the Varia, and then you get the gravity. And, you know, whichever one you get first is the earlier one. I'm not 1000% sure that this works that way. Oh, hey, we got the Power Bomb, so we can now get this one. It's just a missile. All right. I'll say right now I don't have any big plans for more randomizers to play in the immediate future. Basically, the rhythm of things for the time being will be to focus on, oh, you know what? Getting past these guys doesn't do me any good. So long as, the doors are red back there. Those doors we haven't unlocked yet. Yeah, so going here doesn't do us any good. I will say next weekend, I am going to be checking out the Rivals 2 beta thing at Majig, which is Rivals 2 is going into like closed beta next week. If anyone has access to that and would like to fight me, maybe something can be arranged. I don't know how that works yet, or if it's all just matchmaking or whatever. But definitely will be looking to do some fun stuff. I'm not sure about this. Let me back up and do a save, because I don't have Gravity Suit, so any water stuff is going to be... is maybe going to be a one-way ticket, unless we can find a Gravity Suit down there, which... Is there any items we can even get right now? There's 2 items in that area. I'm not sure if either of them are accessible, but let's check to be safe. It'd be cool if they were, I'll say. Like, I think it's fun when randomizers allow you to, you know, go to areas that you can't usually go to. Do things there. But also, I understand that, like, you know, obviously Nintendo was not designing their game with how it would be interesting ways to... Wasn't designing their game around how various suits... Where is that? A various suit. Trying to find it on my tracker. Okay, here's the Vario suit, here's the gravity suit. Okay. Can we get to the other item from here? How the fuck do you kill this fucker? I feel like there's a way. Maybe it's you have to have the screw attack. Okay, I think that we can't get back, can we? Wait a minute. Oh, yes, we can. Good. Okay. Hey. There's nothing. There's nothing in the areas that we haven't checked. So, yes. Okay, we got various suits, so that's good. We can now tackle the entirety of Pyre without worrying about it, which is a good thing. I don't think we can swim in lava yet. I'll say there is an option to allow damage runs, but I didn't have that be included in logic, so a logical item would never be behind like a hot room that we have to run through. Basically, it would be gated. I always wonder with features like that. I say features like that. You know, when you take use of such options, is that taking the easy way out? Is that dishonorable in some way? I think the answer just has to be, yeah, play in the way that you like. It's all fun. It's all good. Don't have to worry about such things. You know, games are meant to be fun. Randomizers too. And if there's a thing that you don't want randomized, you don't have to randomize it. If there's a thing you do want randomized, you can absolutely randomize it. If there's anything in between, customize it to your liking. Okay, so we are in Sector 3 now. Sector 3 has another door for us to do. Can we do anything without the door? Like, if we were to right now try to go backstage, it might be easier now because there's no, like, enemies running around. This can be a tricky one to do if you don't have the high jump. But we have space gravity jump, so we wouldn't get locked into this room. You gotta watch out when you're doing the randomizer. Some randomizers are nice about that, you know. There's plenty of randomizers where if you get soft locked, they're nice, and they just say like, okay, well, here's a return to home button, where if you hit it, you'll just be taken back right to your ship, or right back to your starting point. Like, a Paper Mario randomizer is like that, and thank God. But apparently there's a tradition among Metroid randomizers where that's not as kosher. There are some quality of life features in some of the damn it. Whatever, you know what? Let's unlock the doors and go from there. There are some quality of life features in some of the Metroid Prime ones where you can, like, warp back to your ship, and if you do something or other, or your starting point. But those almost feel like weird ROM hack, you know, mods type things, or like practice code type things, rather than something that's perhaps as kosher as you would like. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you can warp back to home base, but you know, it's not exactly smiled upon. Is that good enough? Alright, security room 2. Oh, crap, I forgot to mark off the security rooms as I got them. Whatever. Ugh. So, usually you get the speed booster in 4, and now in once you get to 3, it requires the speed booster, so you know, the natural order of the game is 1, 2, 4, 3. Let's climb across this normal style, across this very normal looking lava. Or just, you know, gravity jump. Just an energy tank. That's fine. I feel like I might have one more energy tank than I'm marking on my tracker. That's fine as well. It's hard to count those little bars. But also, at the same time, you could just not track those and it'd be fine. The important thing is progression gating items. Okay, let's see now. Think we can now do the the boss fight of 3, I think, with what we have. There is also a item under lava. There's like a whole lava area off to the right hand side, like over lower right hand corner here. I'll say maybe I should have also thrown in the sector randomization, wherein the order of the sectors is randomized as well, so maybe you have to start with 6, maybe you have to start with 2, etc. But oh no, that can get screwy, I feel like. Would probably have been interesting though. It can definitely lead to like more difficulty spikes, right? Like if you end up having to go to 6 while you have like 2 energy tanks, you know, that's gonna be a whole hell of a lot more intense than going to 6 once you have like 10. We have the Varia suit, so we can now not worry about 5's ice guys or the ice areas in 5. The ice guys are in 6. The ice guys are in 6, and the I want to go down first. I feel like there's going to be a major item in this room. No. If I say that enough times, eventually I'll be right. You want to see that in action? Well, give me 2 seconds. I feel like there's going to be a major item in this room. Nope. And what about the shit. Nope. Okay. If I kept saying it, eventually I would be right. Eventually. Okay, I think that must mean we have 11. I think it goes over once you get like a... Well, I could pause and see. Yeah, we got 11. We don't have lava walks, or the ability to go in lava safely, so... Should I go fight that Professor boss fight right now? I'm hesitating because that's the only thing I can get over there, and it's just one check. If I could get the gravity suits, there would be 2 checks to do over there, which would be twice as good, but still not great. How are we doing on our main items that we need? We don't have the charge beam. That's like the major one that we need. Other than that, we just need to find access to level 4, which means that we need to go in some portals and find the one that leads to, Sector 4. Which means, realistically, we need to get the, Realistically, we need to get the, It realistically means that the item that we need is going to be the screw attack, because most of the portals are hidden behind screw attacks. So those are the 2 items that would be the best ones that we can get. Of course, any item that lets us go further into the worlds that exist would be nice. Okay. Boss fight coming up. Okay, I'm gonna pass on that one. Just recharge all my dealy doos. I unlocked the door, so I can now go to any sector next. I guess I'll say with this randomizer, it is odd insofar as you have the option to go anywhere you want, or, you know, within the sectors that are open. But it kind of makes most sense to do it in the order of vanilla, because that's just going to be the places. In the vanilla order, you'll find more checks that don't require advanced items. And also, you do actually need to unlock most of the things in order. You know, as far as, like, you have to get the doors, and the doors are in very specific places. Oh, I'll say a second thing that this randomizer needs. It needs for the door locks to be randomized. It needs to add them to the item pool. They're not in the item pool, and that is a bummer. I think very much that they should be. If you could randomize those and, you know, just randomly stumble into level 4 locks, level 3 locks, whatever, I think that would make things a lot more interesting. As it is, like, the structure of a run will progress from, okay, we need to find a lock. I need to get to the door lock room 1, then door lock room 2, probably door lock room 3, and then, yeah, probably go back to, then at that point we'll go to door lock room 4. Ain't that something? Hey, here's a portal over here, but I'm pretty sure we can't access it until we get super missile, or not super missiles, until we get screw attack. So screw attack is going to be a item that we really need. I mean, as far as items go, everything else is like just beams at this point. Okay, here's one check. There's another check up here. All missiles. Ugh. I got a good night of sleep last night, a good like 7 hours roughly, which is more than average for me. A lot more than average. So I'm reasonably recharged and refreshed and all. I think what I want to do right now is hope that the gravity suit is not behind that boss that's down there in the area that we haven't explored. I'm going to hope that, and I'm going to go to sector, I don't know, one of the other sectors. You know, we can also now go to the overworld areas that were previously inaccessible because we have green locks open. Why not do that? We also have power bombs, which gives us some options in the over area. Yeah, let's go do that. Let's do that. And then we'll pick like 5 or 6 based on a whim and go to one or the other. The default order is 6 and then 5, so let's go 5 and then 6. That makes sense. I'm very much like a person who likes to use different randomizer setups in different games. I guess that just makes sense, but you know. I like loading zone randomization in DK64, and I think that makes that randomizer like a lot more interesting and a lot more compelling as it becomes about trying out all the exits to get to the places you need to go to get the moves. But, you know, I would never randomize like, they recently added the ability to randomize where the moves are, like moves can be where bananas are basically, and I don't think I would do that, because that would just mean I would literally have to check basically every golden banana in the game to get every move, potentially. Which I think would be not very fun to me. Meanwhile, there's a lot of games where I would absolutely randomize everything into everything and make every check as valuable as possible. It depends, I guess, on where the challenge is, right? Like Paper Mario, there are now some options for loading zone randomization, but I kind of find them cumbersome, and they make like they make the logic too much. They make it too difficult to know, like, okay, where the fuck can I go next? We don't actually need to go up. We just need to go here and see that that's an energy tank and turn around. Okay, let's save the animals. I'll save the animals real fast. It won't take but a minute. Do running start here. I'll grab that energy tank while I'm in the neighborhood. Energy tanks are good. It's good to have extra health, especially when things are going to get challenging from here on out. It'd be cool if there was an item check here. Just throwing that out there. I guess it'd be weird to add item checks where there weren't any before. That would be weird. But I don't know. It's not outside the realm of possibility. I think that if you're making a randomizer and you run into something where the original game doesn't quite accommodate the randomization quite well, I think you can make changes. I think you can, like, just sort of alter it a bit in order to make it a better game as a randomizer. You know, you don't have to be quite so Slavic. You don't have to be so enraptured with the original that you can't make improvements where the randomization renders it necessary. You know? Okay, there's one more check over in this direction. I think we could. Can we go down to the areas? Not sure. Can we go down to the areas where the plant is? The, like, Oh, that's like an exit. Go down to the areas where, like, the reactor core is. Can I jump up there? I hope that with a high jump, without high jump, I can... Okay, good. I can do a space jump, even in a cramped corridor. So that's fine. I was wondering for a second if high jump suddenly would become necessary to get out of that little crevice. But nah. Also, it's not been that long since I last saved. And I haven't gotten anything good, so it'd be fine. Okay, let's do it. Oh, there's nothing over here. Okay. I thought that was something. But yeah, you need to... I have power bombs. Can I go to the power core then? Let me take a save just in case there's no way back or something. The black ship is cool. I think that's been the coolest, like, randomized palette thing we've seen so far here in this randomizer. The black ship. Nothing's been particularly outrageous. This is a later game boss, but I think one that we can handle. Let's hold off on doing a save. Can I get back from here? I think so. I don't see why not. We're pretty... We didn't go that far. Let's just... we don't need to save if we don't have to. Probably safer to not save where it is entirely unnecessary to anyway. If we had the we had... we skip the boss if we just had the wave beam? Or would that just be getting into the boss from the opposite angle? I forget where the item is for this. If it's beating the boss and you absorb the core, it's probably that. Getting in the back door doesn't change anything about that. Missile? Here there's one more item before the boss. We have to be a little concerned about the boss because we don't have a charge beam. And charge beam would be what would allow you to take down the boss even if you ran out of missiles. So it's possible this boss might be a bit much for us to handle. It's also possible that this is charge beam. High jump and jump ball. Okay, that's probably the least useful item that we could get. Most useless ability we could get, specifically. I'm not even gonna run back and do a save or something, even if we ended up biffing it on the boss. I'm okay losing that and just keeping in mind that, like, oh yeah, that's over there if we were to so be inclined. This randomizer could use a hint system. There are, like, you know, you can talk to Adam and all, but he doesn't give you a hint. The hint system is not implemented yet. Kind of reminds me of Orange from DKZ3, especially in the way that you have to take shelter in the corner. Like, that is the best way to avoid this guy's shuffling attack, is to hide in the very corner and come out only when he's about to do his big move. Okay, you know what? We got him the blue. We got him the blue. We have plenty of missiles left. I think we're going to be in good shape here. Shit. I have to, like, mash buttons or something to get out of here. There we go. Fuck. Okay, well, you need to take shelter in the right corner to, get by. Otherwise, he's gonna grab you. You know what? Hey, I guess super missiles, they're good, is the lesson. I feel like you would have super missiles by this point in the game, so I don't know why he's going down so fast, but I'll take it. Do these things, like, give you health if you... No, they don't. Health or missiles. That's yellow? What? Randomized color schemes for you. I don't know if that's supposed to be red. Maybe. Got him. Easy. Easy, easy. I feel like we could probably take on that plant guy if we really wanted to go back to an area just for one check at this point. I think at this point, there's brand new areas that have like dozens of checks that we should go to instead. And a portal that has our name on it. And is randomized. It's a missile tank. It's not very good. I think because I have space jump, I could also have skipped that fight just by exiting the room when it started. Because I could get up there. But that's not important. We had to know. We had to know what he had. I think one of the changes in this patch was that bosses can have key items now, which I didn't know wasn't a thing. I didn't know wasn't a thing before, that bosses previously could not logically have items. Hey, isn't this vanilla? Maybe the portals between, like, the overworld and the otherwise are vanilla. Maybe those ones are just set in stone, not changed. Okay. We don't have screw attack, so we can't... Thinking about what we still need to get here. There's 2 items that are behind screw attack in the lower right corner. There's that boss fight that we can do for 1 check. You know, while we're in the neighborhood, we might as well. Might as well fight that boss. There's a save on the way, so we will be safe. We will, you know, not lose any progress no matter what happens. And also, we've been here and gotten out of here before, so we know what's up. We know what's good. Alright. Let's fight the big bossman. Do we want to get health or anything before we do it? No point. I'm feeling good. Let's just roll the dice. Oh, also the door will give us health. Health and missiles and all that. You know what? Maybe previous times I've fought this fella and I've really struggled with missile supply, it was cases where I didn't have super missiles. Maybe super missiles make this a lot more doable. And also I have, like, just a lot of missiles right now, honestly. The thing is, you don't get any missiles back from this guy. So, if you don't have charge beam, which we don't, you're very reliant on your supply that you bring in. Yeah, it's gotta be super missiles. It's gotta be... Super missiles is the deciding factor. This is going really well. And, feels like we've used barely any missiles. Seems like we're on he's on his last legs. And now, if we didn't have any missiles left, we could absolutely get them from the Orby duty. But we have plenty, so no worries there. I guess I learned not to be scared of this guy if I have super missiles. Super missiles are good. No, this is not going to be it. Just a tank. Well, it's good to check these things. I guess I can mark these guys off on my thing. There's like a tracker zone for that. I'm not entirely sure why there is. It's not that important that you kill these guys. It's not like this is like the main goal of the run is to kill these minor guys. But, you know, I'll track them nonetheless. Well, at one point, I was thinking, like, a few years ago, I did, like, the randomizer roulette, right? Which I mentioned earlier, which is where I played several randomizers at once. And I thought, like, well, I can't really reduce the amount of scope of Metroid Fusion Randomizer. It is what it is. But I could instead say something like, I beat this many bosses and that's it. But the thing is, you can kind of clear the randomizer in like 3 hours by default. So it's not really as necessary that you like speed it up in other ways. You know, so it ended up being... The stream was meant to be like 12 hours, so each randomizer needed to be like 3 hours around about. And, you know, it was ultimately about that. Successful, very successful. I have Power Bomb, so I now can get that one in the water that we saw earlier. Let's do that one. And that one was a question mark, wasn't it? It was a major item that we just couldn't get earlier, so it's gonna be something good. I mean, I guess I'll bet it's not something that good. I'll bet it's like I'll bet it is... What would be bad at this point? Ice Beam? Ice Beam would be of limited use, considering that we... It's back there. Would be of limited use, considering that we already have plenty of ways to make things ice. Ice Beam is also an odd one, because usually you only get it in the last, like, 2 minutes of the game. But in the randomizer, you can get it early. I mean, like, early in the game, early. And it's pretty good. Okay. Okay, we just need to jump from there. Gravity suit! No, was the ice beam. I had it right earlier. It would have been nice if it was the gravity suit. We're gonna have all the beams by the end, I'm betting. We just have the wave beam and the charge beam, which is the only one we actually need. Well, we need that in the plasma beam, but you know what I mean. The only one left that we need. I think we pretty much 100%ed this area, short of the... You know what, we don't have the ability to get to one area. There is one cache of items up by the blue room, the switch room. So let's proceed upwards and go back there. And then we'll go to 5. Ugh. Nice to add the freezing effect on the beam. That is just very strong. I love in Metroid games how all the abilities... A lot of the abilities are very strong like that, you know? You get them and it's like, oh geez, you're powerful now. Like, dudes are just gonna freeze before you in a lot of cases. Unless they have, like, some very specific resistance to it. In which case, all bets are off, but... You know, a lot of the enemies that challenged you earlier, it's just like, no, you just... You shoot them and they're stopped cold. Does this require screw attack? This might require screw attack. Ah, yeah, it's screw attack. Okay, let's exit this zone. We're going to grab, we're going to grab the, a recharge station on the way. So we'll get our, health back up to full. And, ooh. Am I closer than I usually am? Nah, it just looks big on the screen because usually, you know, randomizer mean that the camera is bigger. That's just how randomizers are. Or, you know, games that aren't regular resolution, I suppose. Or an odd one. I want to go to 5, the Arctic Zone. Why 5 and not 6? The usual way is you go to 6. I want to go off the beaten track for once. I wonder... I mean, we got mostly everything. I don't think there'll be that much that'll be unavailable to us, per se. Do a quick save. We do have to worry about the yellow doors. The yellow doors are in this area, though, so it'd be good to get those switched on while we're here. And then that'll unlock all sorts of items, as, you know, doors tend to do. This requires, the shit... No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't require the shit to be destroyed. Oh, but this would, if I wanted to get this item, right? This is a, yeah, speed boost thing, and I can't see the next room, so I don't know if it's good or not. I think for the destruction, for, like, this area to get destroyed, you need to get the gravity suit. It's kind of weird, the cause and effect there, as far as transforming this from one to the other. Another note I would have is that, yeah, you could probably just have... You could probably just have... You could probably just have this level be in one state and one state only. You know, not changing after you hit a certain thing, do a certain thing. But I guess also they want to make it so that if you want to explore this area while it's dry, you can. I think one of the changes, you know what I'll say, is one of the changes that they made in this version is they made it a little more intuitive, like switching from one to the other. Or, rather, logically, you don't have to worry about losing access to the dry version of this level. You'll always be able to get through regardless of whether it's wet or dry. Which is good. I did always feel like that was a weird thing previously, that you had to worry about such things and be very concerned with, like, okay, am I unlocking this level in the right order? Am I losing an opportunity to do a thing? Kind of bizarre. I like those big red X's. Like, that is, speaking of bizarre, kind of funny, as they're usually supposed to be blue, because they're cold X's. A giant red X just looks like a big one of those that you absorb for health. But they're actually supposed to be, the icy ones. I think that's been the biggest success as far as the palette randomization goes. I hope... Here's my hope. I hope that Nox is really cool. I hope that we get to Nox and find, like, oh, crap, this looks damn cool. Here do we go down? I always forget about how you get to the yellow switch palace here. Switch palace? I think the first time I played the randomizer, I forgot entirely where the yellow switch palace was, and just didn't go to it for a good long time. And then kicked myself later when I realized, like, ah, crap, I could have done this, like, hours ago. That was the first time, though. I know where it is now. It's right here. I took a map and I edited it so that it marked it on the map. So that I will never forget. Never forget. Yellow security hatches. There's something up there. Watch this be something. This is gonna be something. Nope. If I say that enough times, eventually I'll be right. I think I want to go all the way to the right from here. And there's, like, some items over on the right-hand side right now that I can grab. Now save. I can get back, right? I believe so. Unless there's some silly stuff with the water level, and, like, the thing gets broken on me when I'm not expecting it, and at which point I cannot get up through the waterlogged area. But I'm not expecting that to happen. There's a data room. Wait. I thought the data room was destroyed in this one. Let me get there's one over here. Let me get that one real fast. There's an item in that door. And then I'll do the data room. And if I'm looking at the map right... Screw attack! That's gonna be important. That will allow us to start going into the portals. And since the portals are randomized, any of them could lead to the area we need to go. Traditionally, we would need to go through the portal in this area. And you know, basically do a bunch of stuff in this area to proceed to the final area to get the final unlock. But it's possible, with those being randomized, that we don't have to do that at all, and all we need is the screw attack. For what it's worth, we're nowhere near done. Well, I say nowhere near done. We are not done yet, on account of, we don't have... There are some very important items we don't have. Namely, the charge beam. We don't have that. But once we have the charge beam, then all we'll need to do is bum around, pass through some portals, and how the fuck do you get to... There's like a room to the right of this. Oh, isn't it like you have to... There we go. You have to curl up in a ball and jump. Honestly, some of these, I'll say, I don't remember how you were supposed to find them, like, naturally. Maybe the key was, yeah, read Nintendo Power. And that'll clue you into where they all are. Are we done here? Basically. Yeah, I think we're done here. And there's 2 more items in this area accessible through yellow doors. There's also a portal that we can try. So, yeah. We're not going to go directly to 5. We're gonna try our luck with the first portal. I have tried one portal, but it led to the overworld, and that was vanilla. So it makes me wonder if that one wasn't randomized, or it is like always vanilla, or we got unlucky, that's just coincidence, or... Alright, you gotta navigate your way back. Or, third possibility, I accidentally didn't set it to randomize the portals and didn't realize. But I'm pretty sure I did. I distinctly remember toggling that option on when I was generating the seed, so... If they're not randomized, it'd be very surprising to me. Ugh. Okay, this is how we gotta get back. We still don't have the wave beam. Oh, you know what I just realized? The S is the wide beam. The W is the wave beam. I mixed those up on the tracker, my bad. If anyone was confused and thinking about the tracked items really intensely, you might have been concerned. Doesn't make too terrible of a difference, other than the wave beam would allow us to go to a lot of areas where the spread beam does not. I guess that's what the S must be for, right? Spread beam. In Japanese, I'm betting it's spread beam or some other S beam rather than the wide beam, what it actually is in English localization. Let's see. What do we got? Okay, missile. Nope, nothing. And in this room? Okay, there's gonna be a hole in the wall here. Or on the other side. How do we get through this? Oh, there we go. Wave beam, okay. That's the last item that we don't need. So that's fun. That's the last item we don't need. This one leads to 3. Higher. Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna go grab a piece of pencil and paper so I can, like, write down where these fucking lead. Okay? Alright, got a pencil, piece of paper. We came from 5? That was 5. I'm gonna make like a grid. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6. And left to right. 5 goes to 3. All right. Cool. All right, let's carry on then. Honestly, we can just sort of go from one area to the next without really stopping. Well, let's first go over here in case this has something. Like, 1 second, let me check my map. Yeah, there's 2 items in this shaft over here. Can I get down there with just what I got? If I can get a running start. It's gonna be a one-way thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be multiple layers. Yeah, you can't get through on this end. Can you do that without the gravity suits? Not sure that you can, honestly. Curious. Let's just, like, double, triple check to be safe. Also take a save. Again, right now what we need is the charge beam and access to the 4th area, the fourth sector. From the, well, I guess actually it has to be from our right-hand door. So going through this way will never get us to where we want to go. We want to go into doors on the right and come out on the left. Okay, that is worth considering. We also still need the charge beam, so it's not like we can stop just now. Okay, I'm just gonna check to make sure that we can't do this right now. We could also go beat up the boss. That could have charge beam. You know, hey, anything's possible. Ah, literally impossible without the gravity suit to get to those, because even with a damage run, you can't screw attack under lava until you get the gravity suit. Okay, noted. Let's go out in the boss's direction. We can't get the other pickup that's in this area right now. The one that's under lava. But maybe we can... Well, maybe we could with, like, a damage run, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe we can poke the head in and just see if it's a major item, which it probably isn't. We just poke the head in here. It's a capacity upgrade. We're good. Okay. That is nothing. Okay, that ended up being 2 checks. The only problem with this, I'd say the only problem. The main problem with this, why I don't want to do this boss is just, like, you have to walk all the way out to him. He's really remote, and there's no other collectibles, like, on the way other than one. But this could be charge beam, so let's try it. It's not. If I was a braver fella, perhaps I would just be like, reset, and just, warp back to where I was 5 minutes ago. You know, before walking all the way out here. But instead, I'm just gonna walk back and take the 5. It's more like 3. That wasn't that long a walk. It just seems like it would be. I'll say, I've done the Metroid Prime 2 randomizers before. Those ones can end up being a lot of walking. Insofar as, like, yeah, well, you know, Samus has a move speed. He walks everywhere. You can turn into a ball to speed it up by a little bit, but you still have to unmorph to open doors. And that means that, you know, even if you're doing everything right and finding things at a good pace, you might end up having to, like, take on, like, oh, I need to walk from one side of the map to the other. And that's going to take, like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Maybe even more, hell. Like, if the next thing you have to check is in another world, like, yeah, 5 minutes would be a, optimistic estimate. That's kind of why I'd honestly think that Metroid Prime 3 would make a legitimately, possibly, a better randomizer than the other two. Just because Metroid Prime 3 has a fast travel system built in. So, it wouldn't be outside, it wouldn't be weird for you to go like, ah, well, okay, I need to run over to another planet now. You know, jump into my spaceship and off I go. You know, that wouldn't be like a hack. That'd just be like, no, the game's designed like that. It's intended that you should be able to fast travel around, and, you know, that's obviously just very valuable in a randomizer where time is of the essence. Not that time is really of the essence here. We're making good time. We got nearly everything we need. We're 2 hours in. 2-3 hours is about what? I need to reset this so that the ground isn't broken up. About 3 hours, I'd say, is what I expected going in. I mean, I'll say, like, that is even with having done most of the worlds, like, practically vanilla style. You know, we've gone into most worlds, and we have just gone along their vanilla routes, just like taking the intended path from from the start to the end, getting everything along the way, and you know, that's been convenient. That's been going really well for us. We can go through this portal. This is a good portal to go through. And also, does this portal have like a power bomb? Okay, we don't need that. 3 goes to the left of 3, goes to the right of 1. Yeah, going through these isn't necessarily a bad thing. Hey, we're finding more areas that we don't have to go to. And figuring out where about we can go in the process. How about we go to an area that we don't know what the right or left path is and go from there. Let me see. There's Sector 2. Sector 2's right. Yeah, there's a right in Sector 2 that we can do. Usually leads to 4? Wait. Sector 2's usually leads to 4? Now I'm confused. I thought the whole goal was to get to Sector 4 from the side. You know what? Whatever. I guess I think maybe there's multiple portals that lead into 4, and we want the lower one. I wonder if it's a thing where that portal in particular isn't randomized. Maybe that portal in particular isn't randomized, and it's all the ones that just take a complete circuit around that are randomized. Maybe would make sense. It'd be kind of sad insofar as like, oh yeah, we actually do have to do vanilla style Sector 5 round section. Okay, so 4, 2 leads in right of 2, leads into the left of 1. Okay. Anything here that we, need to get? I'll do a damage run real fast, even though it's not technically in logic. Whatever, I have so much health, it's fine. No, it's nothing. You know what? I do have the ability to screw attack now, so this would also be in logic, and it's nothing. Huh. I could go down to where Ridley is, but do we have enough missiles to kill Ridley? I don't have charge beam, so I think the answer has to be yes. I think let's go down and see Ridley. At this point, it's not like we can just check all the portals and focus on that, because we're still missing the charge beam, and the charge beam could be anywhere where there's a check, so any check is worth doing. That said, there is the whole Sector 5, which we literally have not checked or been to, that is full of checks to check. So maybe if we're just looking to finish the game or whatever, probably checking the one place we haven't looked at all would be a productive thing. Still, could be anywhere, could be in either place. Ugh. Okay, here. Up takes us to Ridley. Right takes us to a save. There's an item in the room below us, as well as in the direction of I think I want to get all the items that I can here. Can I kill this guy with power bombs? I don't have charge beam, so charged. That's a weird one. You have to kill that guy like 5 times to open the door. I think I want to get... I want to make sure that charge beam isn't over here before I go see Ridley. It's not? Okay. Let's go see Ridley then. These guys kind of remind me of Metroids. These like weird sucky bally things. I would have to imagine, I know that Metroid isn't like Pikmin insofar as it has like a bestiary or like a... Well, actually that's not true. In Metroid Prime games you can scan enemies to learn biological facts about them. Which includes, you know, information such as like where they're from, what they're related to, etc. I would like to imagine that those guys are like relatives of Metroids. That makes perfect sense to me. They have a similar sort of life cycle. They also suck the energy off their enemies. It would make perfect sense for them to be a relative. I think that'd be a great addition to the 2D games if they had some sort of scan mechanic where you could read like a log about each enemy. We don't have charge attack, so... Charge beam, so... And, regular attacks don't hurt. Only charged ones do. And missiles. Green Ridley looks cool. I keep wasting missiles when he turns around. That's not good. $12. Oh, I need to get the fuck out of his hands. I was also out of missiles. Yeah, I'm not sure I can... This where we left off? Yes. Well, I think let's leave Ridley for now. He probably has jack shit. And I don't know I like our chances of taking him on with a limited supply of missiles and no charge attack. That seems like folly. I don't know if, like, power bombs do damage or something, or maybe we could focus our attacks on the parts where... the areas in which he's weak, but... Oh yeah, we can't go to the restricted zone. It's a red gate situation. Which means that we'll probably never have to go to it. In fact... Unless the charge beam were to be in the restricted zone, or behind some other place where there's a red gate. Once we get the red gates, we're, like, off to the races. I say that we haven't gotten the charge beam yet, and we have no idea where it is, but it's probably not there. Odds are very much against. Good thing we have wave beam, or else we wouldn't be able to come back. Alright, just check the map real fast. Yeah, yep, we got everything. Everything I see, we have checked or looked at or gotten. There's nothing major here. I think it's time to go to Sector 5. I mean, we could just go back to another sector where there's a right gate. But the only one I can think of is, like, well, 5 has one, but it's really hard to get to, and I prefer not to have to check it if it's not it. 5's right gate is really hard to get to, and that's why it's where, you know, that's why you usually have to go there to get the red code, because it's like the longest, it's like a finale, it's like a final challenge for you to go get the, to go through this whole area and go get the red gate unlocked. But if we can't help it, I'd like to not do it. Hello? There we go. Oh, I could have just shot it, couldn't I have done? Ooh. I'll say these red save rooms do look kind of cool. This is a cool look for these rooms, but, you know, if you were to ask me what color they were originally, I would probably say, like, I don't know, blue, purple, something like that. Not that different, you know, it still looks pretty natural. I'm pretty sure this whole area was not, like, golden bronze, though. Time to go to 6. Two. Okay, let me get the 6 map up and have a look, see what we can get, like, right out the gate. And also just pop in and see where... We'll see where this leads real fast, just for shits and giggles, and to eliminate a place where this leads to 4. Aqua, this side. So 6 left leads to 4 right. Okay. Is there anything here on 4 right we can grab real fast? Let me see. No. There's practically nothing in this whole area. This whole little area that we're in. There's a portal that leads to 2. Like, down at the bottom of the shaft that we could check, but, I'm not sure that we can get back up because we don't have gravity suits. So let's just go back to Knock. Go back to, Sector 6. Okay, that's an energy tank. There's one option for, like, customization here. as far as item pool goes. You can make it so that items will only be found where major items were found, or energy tanks, which does reduce the amount of places to check. That said, as someone who doesn't know what these items are all originally, if you ask me where are the energy tanks originally, I would say, what? I would say, how would I know that? Because I don't know that. No, I don't know where the energy tanks were by default. That is just something I do not know off the top of my head, and so I would have to use a map anyway, and if I'm using a map, might as well just have all the checks be there, and, you know, have it so that items could appear anywhere. It's more fun that way. Okay, there's a check on the right over here. Let's, see what this is. If this is 4, this is 2. 5 leads to 2. Or 6 leads to 2. Same difference. If I'm using my process of elimination correctly... Also, there's nothing here that we don't already have. This does nothing for us. If I'm using my process of elimination correctly, I think that now it has to be... The way to the correct 4 hole has to be through... Has to be through the place, doesn't it? It's a shame. Has to be through 5. Maybe that's always vanilla. It's kind of a bummer if so, because, yeah, you know, that's the one... I have, more than that, apparently. That's, the one way that I would like that's the one way it could come into play, is if you could get to the place where level 4 portals are early. In which case, you have all sorts of cool decisions to make. Here we need to... This is a place in which you can do a... Okay, what we need to do here is check to see if this is anything. And if it's nothing, we leave. But to leave, we have to do a whole fucking thing. Unfortunately, because, there's a whole wall of speed boosters behind us. God damn it. What is it again? It's middle, 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 and then it's not middle for some reason. You have to, bomb in the middle. For the first 2, I think. And then for these, you bomb at the... Really? Shooting activates them? Let me just confirm real fast. Yeah, you bomb at the edges, but you be very careful now. Is it bomb in the middle for this one? Yeah, okay, so... These ones are edges. Some of them are middle, some of them are edges. I think this might be the worst collectible in the game to get. It's just such a hassle, and also requires a elaborate setup to get out. And we need to make sure that we... Okay, you know what? I'm going to keep the door closed. So that I can... not, like, tear out. If I drop off a ledge, do I continue to run fast? Okay. There we go. Don't like that one at all. Wish it wasn't like that. Okay, let me make sure that we're not passing up anything. This might be difficult to get back from where we are right now. So, I think no need for save. Let's just carry forward. There's no SAX that ever appears, so you don't have to worry about the stealth sequences that happened in the original game. That also means that you need the power bomb to open that wall. You can't just have the SAX do it for you. But we've had the power bomb forever, so no worries there. There's something here, isn't there? Yeah, through here. Missile. Let's go fight a boss. This one's like absorbing the data of the data thing, so you actually have to fight the boss to get the thing. Cool. Oh no, there's some sort of weird logic here where you can't fight the boss unless something or other. It's not dependent on, like, where you enter from, right? Ah, forget how that works. I think it might be based on the suit or something. If you have, like, the gravity suit. How does that make sense? I don't know. If it was essential, probably would not be missable like that. Oh! Alright. Now all we need to do is get to the, there we go, we got it. All we need to do is get to the end. Well, hang on, though. If the portal is where it seems to be, then it would unfortunately seem to be that we need the gravity suit to get through to the part of Sector 4 that we're looking to get to. Also, honestly, in Sector 4, it may be hard to navigate that particular area without the use of a gravity suit. Hey, maybe the gravity suit is right here. Nope. I'll say it kind of seemed like at first that our luck was working for us, but now once we get down to the last few items, it kind of seems like low key we have to check every single place the items could be. Oh, you know what? It might be for that boss. I think it might be that you need the charge attack to fight the boss. You know what? That actually might be literally true. It might be literally that that boss can only be damaged by the charge attack. So they don't let you fight them without it. I think that's the ticket. Okay. Or else they would lock you into an arena with a guy you can't beat. Let's check that theory. Yep, music stopped. It was the charge attack. We have the plasma beam, so the big X is gonna be a bit of a pushover, perhaps. Yeah, that was fast. Gravity suit. Okay, that is. It was goddamn good that we went back and got that. Because, yeah, we needed the charge beam to get that. And that gave us the gravity suit. And that's all we need. We are not quite in go mode. But we are in we know where to go mode. We still have to get the level 4 locks. But I know where the level 4 locks are. They don't move. And once we get that, all we have to do is go to the end and finish the game. So, for all intents and purposes, this is go mode. You know, we never went back and did the big boy, the water fella. Either, if we were thinking about guys we could fight. We didn't fight the nightmare. And you'll almost never have to fight the box. The second phase of the box, anyway. At least in my experience. What time are we at now? 2.5 hours? Okay, yeah, that's about right. That's fine. Could have gone faster, maybe, like. At first, our RNG seemed really good. We were getting everything, like, right out the gate. But, like, the last few essential items really eluded us till the end. Maybe if we had gone here earlier, like a little earlier, we would have, been well served. What's the best way to 5? Yeah, just through the overworld. The portals lead somewhere else. Right now, the only right-facing portal that we don't know about is in 5, so yeah, it's in 5. I wonder if the portal between 5 and the last part of 4 can be randomized, or if those are just set in place. I'll say it's a shame if they're set in place, but in any case, it seems like we have vanilla today. And we have to do, like, the whole traditional rigmarole. I mean, that said, it is straightforward insofar as all we have to do is go over here. We need to make a beeline directly for... Let me save. We need to make a beeline directly for... We need to make a beeline directly for... We need to beeline directly for the portal. You can see now it's busted up, but we don't have to fight the boss guy. We don't have to fight the big gravity guy, because that would only be necessary if we didn't have everything we needed. And wanted to check him, specifically. What is... Okay, hang on. Actually, we do have one more right-facing portal, which is right here. But this probably doesn't lead to the correct part of 4? Is this the correct part of 4? No, this is the incorrect part of 4. Okay. This is the incorrect part of 4. This is the part of 4 we don't want to go to. Okay. It's vanilla. The 4 that actually leads us to Sector 5 things. Again, should be randomized if you have portal randomization on. That's like the one. That's like the one I want randomized. The one that would be meaningful if it were randomized. But hey, whatever. Let me see. How do I get there? I just need to go through here. Go through there. Need to do like a speed boost thing, right? Yes, we just need a speed boost. Speed boost this way. Oh, I guess this is like a secret passage. This is like a weird secret passage. Yeah, that's not the same as the other portals that are in the game. They can't just switch out this portal for the other portals. It just wouldn't work. You know, that's fair. But, I would have really liked it if it was possible. I mean, realistically, what I would really like is for the doorways, the door seals to be just randomized in general. That would make it a lot more interesting if, like, say, you got access to level 4 before you got access to anything else, and suddenly, like, oh, the path that I have to take is based around level 4 locks, and I'm stopped cold whenever I hit any level 2 or level 1 locks. That'd be an interesting way to do. Because of the way it's set up right now, and assuming that, that's assuming that combined lock level isn't on, by the way. The way it is now, you'll always get 1 first, you'll always get 2 first, unless you were to randomize the sectors, which will allow for some amount of that, but is still based on you going to each lock room in turn and doing a thing, rather than, like, you know, anything that you wouldn't expect just from seeing the arrangement of the rooms. You know, if you know, like, what the next sector is, you can know, like, okay, this is what the lock I'll be locking. It all feels a little bit, rote, a little bit predetermined, all that. Oh, I just realized the power bomb and missile things are down there. I didn't realize what those were earlier. Maybe at some point previously, years ago, I knew what those were, but I guess I thought the missile capacity thing was what you used for that. Okay, we just have to go the normal way now. Then we go up to the lobby. Then we go to fight, X Samus. The SAX, as it is called. Go and fight the SAX, and then, after that's all done, we'll, be done with the game. Nice little randomizer this morning. I think we made a good time. It's about what I was looking to do this morning, as far as time commitment goes. I mean, I'll say we basically almost checked every fucking check in the game, so it wasn't like a perfect thing or anything. But, you know, hey, even when you're going through most every area vanilla style, it can only get so long. You know, it can only... You can only, You can only, delay so far. I guess my only wish would be that we saw some more striking color schemes around. I mean, I guess this gold lobby is pretty cool. The gold lobby and the gold... This blue is kind of cool. There's some good stuff around. This, purple Samus kind of just looks like default. Kind of just looks like regular gravity suit, actually. Well, whatever. Alright, last save here before the end game. It is time now to finish the fight, do the final bosses, and then after that will be the end of the stream. Basically. That's it. A nice, casual Saturday morning stream. Look forward to another one next weekend with Rivals 2, the sequel to Rivals of Aether 2, or the sequel to Rivals of Aether, Rivals of Aether 2, which is... I need to... Which is a Smash Brothers like that I'm really excited for. They're adding a bunch of more Smash Brothers like features, like being able to grab and ledges and all that, as well as some stuff that's original to Originals to Rivals 2, like Pummel Special and Get Up Special and Ledge Special. New special moves for those specific contexts, which seems like pretty cool ideas for like being able to make more complicated characters. I'll be checking that out next weekend, next Saturday morning. I'll probably play some off stream as well, I imagine. I mean, it's only a beta for that weekend, so weird that that guy can go through solid objects. It's a weird color for that guy to be. Solid purple. Solid purple, eye. Okay, we didn't absorb that guy. That's how it works. That's in the plot of the game. Operations room. Set the thing. That's right. The space station is gonna crash, so we need to make our escape. We now know that the stream is gonna end less than 3 minutes from now. Or at least the game's gonna end, you know, you understand. And then I'll say what I'm doing next stream, and then I will do a raid. Or whatever. You know how these streams always end. Okay. Docking bays. Now then, we gotta fight the last final boss, the final boss of the game. In the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We gotta take a hit for plot reasons.
2 minutes to destination.
And then that guy's gonna... Oh wow, she's golden. Golden SAX. Why is that SAX golden? That's a good color for SAX to be, honestly. Was the SAX golden in the earlier scene? Maybe it's like technically a different enemy than maybe it's technically a different enemy. Need to stop getting hit. Even though I had the ice beam, I had to get it in a cutscene before I could actually finish this fucker off. This is close. That was too close. In fact, it was the other side of close. It was I died. Second try is the charm here. It's fine. We have like so many energy tanks and so many missiles. In fact, let me just get that updated because my count is a little off. So many energy tanks, so many missiles. I have no excuse. Should be more cautious. I mean, I'll say it is hard to know how close to death that fella is. Oh yeah, it was totally golden before. I think they got the better color scheme. Pure gold Samus looks cool. I wish I was pure gold. I was gold earlier. And I didn't really... Are we gonna die again here? You know what the charm is? It's the third time. Okay, you know, I said earlier it was going to be 3 minutes and then the stream was going to end. You know, it's kind of going to be a little more, but not a lot more. I'll say this, I would like it to end before the 3-hour mark point. So that would be in the next 10 minutes, roughly. Let's aim for that. Once we beat this guy, which won't take... We'll have 3 minutes left, basically, after we beat this, beat this fella. This SAX. We're doing much better this time. right. All right, just have to do this business with the eye. Like, one more hit. Yepers. Okay.
Propulsion sequence activated.
Now we have 3 minutes, so that would be under 3 hours. So perfect. I'll take it.
Destination planet.
Of course, I'm not racing against anyone, nor is this like a seed anyone else would really have access to. So it's not like there's any barometer for comparison, and you can't really do the same randomizer seed twice in a row because, you know, you would be able to cut out all the parts where you weren't sure where stuff was. You know, if you could route it, you'd be able to do it, like, efficiently and not waste any time. But that's not in the spirit of randomizers. This is just more of a... I would like it to take a good amount of time for what I consider a good amount of time for me. No? Take 2, let's go. I gotta get hit by the claw. Cutscene has to happen. And then we have to be very careful. And whenever we're not... whenever we're not hitting the dude...
2 minutes to destination.
we gotta be, charging up a charge beam. Hit and run tactics might also be a good idea. Damn it. Getting more blue. She's getting more blue? Isn't it like a Mother Metroid or something? Queen Metroid? Dead. Okay, that was, that should not have been so hard, perhaps. That's, that's gotta be time, right? Yeah, about 2 hours, 54 minutes. 54 and a half, roundabout. Pretty good. I'll take it. Ooh. Well, that's a nice little patch there to the randomizer, I'll say. I think the portal randomization doesn't feel all that meaningful because by the time you're going through portals, you have already access to all the areas by already. So it's not really meaningful unless the secret portal were to be included, which it can't be because it's not that kind of portal. It doesn't match the ones that are randomized. So that's kind of a shame. Maybe if like all loading zones could be randomized like entirely, that would make it, or I say loading zones, all like transitions between like one sector and another were randomized, or I guess there's already sector randomization. So I guess the question would be like, what do you mean? Do you mean like if you go down an elevator, you can come out a shaft? You know, if you go down an elevator, maybe it comes up and you're not in an elevator, you're just going through a passageway on the other side? Would that be weird? Would that be possible? Would that be desirable? I don't know. We got all these items, so we don't really need to know where they are for what it's worth. We got everything. Everything but random fucking things. It's weird that yellow doors, red doors are all in there, considering that they're not randomized at all. That'd be like my biggest feature request would be randomize the portals, randomize the doors. Do something with the red doors, with those 4 security doors. Whether you randomize their unlocks into the item pool, or if you can make it so that, you know, which doors are red, which doors are yellow are randomized, let's say. Whether it's something like that or something like the other thing, it'd be a lot more interesting if it was different. Clear time was 2:35. To be fair, that was without that's without deaths and soft locks and the like. With those, it was like 2:54:30 or 41 roundabout. Well then, that's a game. Ugh. Nice little Saturday morning stream. Gonna do another one next week, but I'll say let's go ahead and pull up the schedule, which has the stuff on it that's coming up. Tuesday is the next stream. I am going to be starting. Oh wow, look at that. The ship, all that stuff is all gold and yellow. Weird. Go figure. I'm going to be starting Mario Odyssey next Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, next week's Tuesday, and that'll be fun. I think that first stream will just be basically me going through and getting all the way to the regular ending, you know, to beating Bowser, basically. And then after that, we'll take things world by world and get every single moon that exists, like in streams after that, let's say, for like, you know, for reference. I don't know where I'm going with that. After that will be a Friday stream, viewer levels, my normal thing that I've been doing forever and ever, with some exceptions where schedule allows. Going forward, I expect to do a viewer level stream every Friday at 6 p.m. Central, and then next Saturday will be Rivals 2 open beta, whatever they're calling it. We're gonna check out Rivals 2, play around with all the characters for a bit, and then go into some online and fight some people. If it turns out that there's people who want to fight me, and, you know, are like watching the stream and all, that's cool, we'll do that. Otherwise, I'll just use matchmaking and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If anyone's interested in and has beta access and wants to fight me, do come by and do ask to fight me, because I would love that to be the thing. But I'm not gonna like guarantee that will happen spontaneously, so we'll see what happens, basically. Alright, let me go ahead and end the stream. Do the raid. I'm not sure how many people are here, if any, but, you know, whatever. It's always good to do a raid, regardless of the amount of people. Ooh, Axel SR is doing Twilight Princess Randomizer. That's an interesting one. J Cog is doing a glitchless Paper Mario race. That's cool. I like that as well. Let's go with the randomizer. Whatever. Alright, I'm gonna open that stream on my end as well. And then I'm going to call it a day and go about and do some like, you know, regular Saturday. Regular Saturday day starts. An ad started playing on my phone if you heard that for a second. Don't worry about it. As I pulled up the thing. Anyway, I'll see you on Tuesday for Mario Odyssey, then on Friday for viewer levels, and then on Saturday, next Saturday, for Rivals 2. I'll put up the VOD from yesterday right after I stopped going live. I stopped being live, and this VOD will go up. I don't know when. Whenever I get around to it, probably tomorrow. Okay. I'll see y'all on Tuesday for Mario Odyssey 100%, the first installment of that, and then after that, Viewer Levels, and after that, Rivals 2. Okay. Get ready to stop. Bye, folks. Odyssey on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central.